Hello and welcome to this edition of Saturday Chat with me, Big Scott 35. Let's talk a little bit. I know last week I didn't do a chat and just really busy. I was sick somewhere that week before, felt a little run down. We've had a lot of sickness going around at where I work, COVID, just regular sickness. So I think I got caught up in all that. But this week, back to it. I mean, I was back to it then too, but just kind of felt run down. And I worked a lot last weekend. I talked about it before. But this Saturday, I'm here. I feel like something I've been thinking about, I've talked about with friends. Uh, you know, and I want to, and I'll touch to that when I get to my goals and stuff. So the week there was Sunday night. I feel like we had a great chat with everybody. Just kind of how my future, and this is going to tie into that. I like to build every week on this hobby subject as a whole, unless something crazy comes up, and something not crazy, but what's going on will come up. With Mike and Dave in the chat. It was great, great turnout. Thanks to everybody for watching and questions. It was a good night. Statements, everything. Uh, Me and my dad talked late Monday because I worked late Sunday, so that was released late Monday. I mean, baseball season is awesome right now. We're on Players Weekend this weekend, so interesting gear being worn. Really do want the Pete Alonso hat this week. Might get it, might not. Being tight right now. You saw that gets me to Wednesday. Didn't have a lot of cards. Talked about value. Even the National, I talked about value. I had more money, but I wanted to go stretch it as far as I possibly could. There are plenty of cards out there in our whatever price range you're in. If you're a quarter, $5, $10, yes, you might not be able to get the most, but there's beautiful cards out there. I mean, I'm sitting here today just looking at stuff, the cards I picked up last week. I mean, just beautiful cards. I mean, this one I really love with Jim Tomei, purple. I mean, I just feel like we're all hung up in the beautiful, I mean, not even beautiful. A lot of times they're plain looking. I mean, tier one is a little plain. Definitive is plain looking. Autos. Uh, you pay that much and you get, like, I got that tier one. It's a plain one color piece of material. All right. With an auto, sticker auto. And you paid all that money for the tier one. I got it for $31 shipped. Happy with that. I just feel like, the value is there. You just got to be patient. And there's something out there for everybody. I got that way during the COVID, where the prices, I started getting a little down because I couldn't open wax and all that. But I just realized there was still stuff that I could get. Being a collector, that's the way to go. I just want to collect my favorite players. Again, it's an extension of my fandom. And that strengthened that, and that's where I'm at now, and that's where my goals are. Talking about that, it's like past 1,250 cards for Pete Alonso, unique cards. This past week, which to some people is like, that's crazy. But Pete's right now, he's my favorite player. I've been collecting hot and heavy with him and David Wright. Um, I've been, still picking up my Johnny Benches, picking up Frank Thomas, Ken Griffey, um, Cal Ripken, and I have fun with that because that's like those '90s fun inserts, But still, they get pricey real quick. We all know that, and you've been doing this long enough, especially if you get them graded. I look for a lot of stuff in 8s because even in 9s would be pricey. Um, beautiful cards. Uh, people want to bash the junk wax and all that, but we wouldn't have some of the stuff we have today without that era. Um, beautiful stuff came from that. Great stuff came from that era. And even with grading with that era, it makes, it gives a numbering system, short print some stuff that we think there are thousands and thousands, millions of cards out there. So, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at now. Months and months ago, I said I want to wait and see what Fanatics does. I've been talking about Fanatics, PSA. So I kind of want to talk where I'm at feeling about them right now. Fanatics, the good thing they're doing is making chases, how they present their product. They're very good at, making releases, making it exciting. They understand that part of it better than Topps did. They run it like it's their clothing, apparel shops, and they got the understanding of how the retail works. They know how they want their stuff presented and all of that, and I commend them for that. That is something they're doing really, really good with. I don't like some of the stuff they've taken away on .com. I don't like. I'm gonna get into it. The prices of wax on with them Panini, but I'm gonna talk about Fanatics because that's what I've been waiting to see. So of course, they see all the prices going up because people are collecting sealed wax for whatever reason. And that sealed wax with the hope that you might get a certain card in there, which to me is such an asinine reason, drives up this price of sealed wax. And Fanatics wants a part of that. So their price has gone up and up. And what it seems to be happening to me now, is because of that price going up, that makes people not to want to open it even more. Because once you open it, that price is gone. You're not going to get that one card, such a low percentage, that the price is going to drop. And so it makes us I opened a box of Star Wars. I opened a box of Don Ross at the National because I was at the National. I will probably get, if there's any left, or I can find a box of Chrome at the suggested retail price. I don't find that too crazy. I will buy it at that price. If it goes over that, I probably will not. But right now, I'm a little tight, so I just have to wait. And I don't have FOMO. I'll buy singles or whatever. But they've increased the prices and made the color has gone down in each box, and everybody's like, well, they made more and more print. I understand that. Why when you used to get a colored card or something in every pack, now that's not the case at all. You open up a box of hobby, you might get 2 color cards, you might get one refractor, you might get, whatever they're calling the X refractor now. Um, it's just ludicrous. And the autographs have gotten worse. We've all talked about it. I have not been happy with the autographs for last 12 to 15 years probably, because even on the higher end stuff, you're gonna get mostly, I don't want to say bad, because some people really like, there'll be a player that I don't like but somebody else likes, but the stars of the game, the all-stars, at least the fan favorites of the teams, are not what you're getting at all. It's going to be some rookie relief pitcher, or some guy that's the pinch runner. It's that way. But to me, the price of the wax. So who's opening it? So Scott, you're buying singles, somebody's open. Yep, you're right. And that's the breakers. So I tried to get into a break yesterday. I have a set price. That price will go up with what's being broke and what's the size. It was a 10 case Pete Alonso Finest break. I am not a big fan of this year's Finest. But they got a couple of inserts, but I'm not a big fan of this year's Finest. I am. But still, it's a good way for me to get in and get some Pete's. And it was a 10 case. I think Pete is one of the rares or whatever. So I was going to pay $25 to get in. I got outbid at $26.50, I think, because I didn't put a snipe in. I just put in a bid and went to bed last night. And I'm perfectly okay with that. I'll get a Pete Alonso Finest card. To me, that's just a good way to do it, and have a chance of getting something with color or auto is a plus at that point. And that's where I'm at with breaks. I'm not going to go crazy. That's the way I've always been with breaks. I used to do breaks before they were huge. I could get into a Mets break for a couple of cases at least for $25. That's out the window. So now, and I don't care about I do care about the Mets, but I don't. All I collect is Pete Alonso, and then if they make a David Wright, card in that set, I might do a David Wright break. But that's just where I'm at right now with that. Because the breakers are the only ones that are open, not the only. They're the majority. They can purchase it. They probably, a lot of them get it at a cheaper price. They can break it. They're making a ton of money. And I make sure I do the breaks where all cards ship, because I don't understand how people do breaks. I pay in for a team or a player and I don't get all the cards. That is, to me, a ripoff. You're stealing. And then they sell that when you go on to eBay and it says choose your card. Guess what? That's who's doing it. Or you have some people that will buy, they love the grind, and they'll buy a case or several cases and break them out and sell individuals, team sets, whatever. And they love that aspect of the hobby. And that's where I'm buying my singles from. It is those two people. It's tough for somebody like me that used to love to open a box of most of the product that came out every year. I can't do it. I don't have any fun doing it. I look at it now and I'm like, I can care less about 99.9% of this product. None of it brings me any joy, gets me more mad than anything else. I just find it very upsetting. And Fanatics has bought into this. And with this Fanatics fan fest, from what little bit, now this is just what I've been getting from YouTube or in Twitter or X or Twix or whatever we're calling it. Is just a money grab. It seems like it's a lot of money there. The card show is secondary to the fan fest. And that's fine. I was told that before, that the card show that they're planning on having in Orlando is more of a card show. I think Baltimore in January is the same way. But I just, having athletes come in and have panels, and I don't know who that's for. I'm hearing it's a lot of people there. I wouldn't pay $50 to go in a day. I know how much I pay for the National for VIP for 5 days. I just find that kind of ridiculous. Then you have to go to New York, which is expensive. You have to pay for everything, parking, everything, And I heard like they're charging fees on paying for the handling charges and everything. So it's $60 for the ticket. I mean, everybody's got their hand out right now in our hobby. You got PSA prices they came back down a little bit. I was just looking at them today, just shaking my head, at that. CGC, at least it's reasonable. I do have a CGC order coming back, which will be on my other channel because it's non-sport. I do have 2 SGC orders coming back. Hopefully I'll have by Wednesday. But, as long as those prices with those 2 companies stay where they're at, I'm okay. I just can't bring myself to send cards to PSA for that price for my registry. Man, and I want to do my registry so bad. I get that itch so often. I was looking at my Gary Carters this last week, and just I feel like they're just sitting there being a waste. And I hate that. I hate it. I collect to have fun, and that's part of my fun. I feel like that got ripped away from me financially, because it's just, for me, it's not smart to do $25 a card or whatever, at best sending them to somebody else and doing low 20s at the lowest for a $5 card. It just doesn't make sense. I want to do it, but not that bad. I rather just look for Gary Carter's already graded, or buy some more playing day cards, autograph playing day cards, on cards of him, having fun doing that. But I'm having a ton of fun doing what I'm doing. But like I said, I was waiting to see with Fanatics. So I know what Fanatics, I wasn't, let's put it this way. I knew they were a business, and they were in it to be a business, to make money. So they can care less about the nickel and dimers, and then they're going to go after the bigger money people, the big players. That's who they want their audience to be. And I feel like it's going to be almost like a NASCAR situation where they're going to forget who has been there the whole time, who is their core audience. There is a lot more people shopping through the quarter boxes than there are in the glass cases looking. They might be looking at those cards, but they ain't shopping. There's a lot more looking at the $5 cards than the $500 cards. And that $5 adds up quick. These grinders will tell you. I'm afraid that they're going to, because PSA's already said, screw you. They've already told us that. It's been like that since they opened shop back up. They can care less about the poor, the lower people on the totem, and they're doing just fine. I can't fault them. It hasn't hurt their business model. Their business model is to take in the bigger dollars and just let the other companies get the scraps, and that's okay by me. I just wish I never started the set registry with them. I wish I would have done my Gary Carters with SGC or CGC. I don't know how many Gary Carters PSA graded, and it just looks ridiculous if I get something else in a different grade. Now, the stuff that like on card stuff, as long as it's been verified, I'm okay. I have a JSA card, I have PSA, I have Beckett when it comes to those cards, because I'm not doing a registry. That's just my fun. Same way with my Clemente, same way with my Mickey Cochran's, same way with uh, my Campanellas. I just want to have them graded because of how old they are, fragile. I want them in that hard plastic for safekeeping. I don't want any, yes, you could put it in a one touch, but the one touch can be opened. Yes, the PSA cards, all those can be open, but it's not just that easy. Especially in my, while I have them. So that's kind of how I feel. I hope I got my point across. I'm not happy with Fanatics. I hope it's just a guy that's just seeing this, and maybe I'm being a little bitter about it, and it's not the way it is. But when you price these chromes as like a mid-tier card, and you really don't offer much in those hobby boxes or especially jumbo boxes, I don't see, when you have such a large checklist, and to get that one card, you might not even get the base card you want, much less a colored version of that card. So that's where I'm looking at. I just, they priced the stuff I used to get regularly, like museum and tribute. I won't even touch that. Yes, there's a lot of nice stuff in it, but when I used to get it for half the price that it's going for now, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And I have one question for everybody out there, and hopefully Mike's on with me tomorrow night so I can ask him. So people that open this and then they resell it, do you figure how much each card on an average you have to sell for? And then try to do it like that? Does that move your price, your needle up for the common base card to be higher because of the price of the product? Or, because to me that doesn't make sense? Or do you think about some base guy in a 600 card set, he's not going to sell that high, right? Because it's nobody, unless he's a team collector or kin to that guy. I that's what I've been wondering. It's like, because I've seen some crazy prices on numbered product, and I just laugh and move on. I'm like, either they like that player and they're attached to it and they throw out a crazy price, and if somebody wants to pay that price, they'll sell it. But if not, they're happy to keep it, or they trying to recoup their funds, and they know they can't do it with like little base cards. So when they get out of 5 of somebody, or out of 49 or 99 or 69 or whatever, they throw a crazy price out there. I haven't seen too much of that, but I have seen some. So I've been kind of just wondering on that as a buyer. Like I said, I've been waiting. I've been really, if you've been watching my channel, I've been really doing really, really well. And I feel like with Pete probably going to a different team after this year, I think a lot of Mets fans of Pete will flood the market with his stuff, discuss it with him. I like the player, so I will keep collecting Pete Alonso Mets cards. And it depends on what team he goes to. I will plan on to keep watching him at this moment. Uh, but I didn't stop watching King Griffey or Frank Thomas when they got traded. I didn't stop watching Gary Carter after he left the Mets. It's just I like the player. Now, did I root for the team they're on? No, but I would want to see them do well. So that's my feeling on Fanatics and kind of PSA. I've been telling y'all about PSA, how I feel about them. But Fanatics, we've gone corporate. My man Wesker Griff has been saying that for about 6 months now. This is our hobby went corporate. Fanatics is definitely taking it there. I told everybody when everybody wanted it to go, oh, I want more and more people in a hobby. I want it to go mainstream. I'm so happy it's gone. We had, TV stations at a national or at Dallas or wherever, more and more big shows. I said it then. Be careful what you wish for, because when it goes corporate, it's about money and greed at that point. It's no longer about us and the hobby. And I'll be here no matter what. Even if they stop selling cards next week, there's plenty of them out there for me to have fun in the hobby. I don't think that's going to happen, but still, I feel like, the hobby has definitely changed. I talked to a buddy of mine, Dr. Exclusive and me and him had a discussion at the National about sealed wax. He understands it. I understand it while not understanding, right? I understand why people do it, but I don't have to understand that reasoning, right? That reasoning to me is a ridiculous reasoning, whatever the reason. If it's the year of your favorite player, your favorite card, and you want a sealed box of that, well, that card might not be in there. That to me, I want the card. I can give a shit about what came in. I bought my car in the driveway out here off of the back of a truck. I don't want the truck. I could give a shit about the dealership. I got my car. I don't understand. We go to the grocery store and buy our Wonder Bread. We don't keep I know it's not a hobby, and I know I'm using different. I'm still, I can't get my head around the whole sealed wax. The sealed wax thing has drove up prices, along with breakers getting, the majority of the cases, and we have to fight what's left over. I sit there and I'm like, I go to a card shop and they got to fight to get a case, and I see a breaker doing 10 case breaks. It breaks 5-6 times a day. You explain to me that, and Fanatics, how that helps the hobby and not your pocketbook. So, because if it was readily available, the prices would be down. That's what happened in the retail market. People start swiping it off. People realize it was dumb. Stop buying it from the people jacking the prices up, passed on it, and then that stuff sat in their closet, and they got stuck with it. And then now, voila, it's back on the retail shelves. So to me, you're printing it to the moon, but still the majority of that print run is going to the breakers. I went to the National this year, and that was the least amount of wax I've ever seen at a National or any card show. I saw more wax at a local card show than I did at the National. It was sad. Out and out sad. Yeah, there was plenty of leaf product, plenty of other, whatever that Dave and Adams brand is, they have. But that was sad for wax. And on top of that, there wasn't any wax coming out. Me and my friends were talking about that before. It was like Chrome came out before. It was already kind of quiet. Now we got nothing. There's no real hockey. There was no basketball, football. It was kind of dead for wax, and it was no wax to be bought. The shelves were that was the smallest area for wax I've ever seen at a National. By far. It was sad. And that's all I gotta say. So I hope, Fanatics doesn't forget about us little guys. You jack the price. I don't even buy blasters because I'm not paying $25, $30 for a blaster. No, you can keep them. Somebody else can buy them. I'll buy the singles. I'm happy with that. I'm selling a lot of my cards now to downsize, to not by any means get out the hobby, but to concentrate on the cards I want. I'm not wasting my money on sealed waxing. And other people can, and I enjoy it. I wish I can do both. I wish I could, but it's no fun opening it for me. I got so last year at the National with that Chrome product. That was it for me, man. That was it for me. So please let me know your thoughts down below on wax. I know most people are against it anyway. We just do it for entertainment purposes or the resale grind. If I had extra money to buy cases, I might get into that. I don't know. But, man, I've seen cases open and they're just horrible. I don't even know what that comes out of. The breakers definitely have it, made when it comes to that. So I'm just going to leave it there because I'll just keep babbling and it's not upsetting to me. I know what my plan is and I'm having fun doing it. I just wanted to talk about it, the whole thing. And that's it. And this whole, I've been asking my friends who's printing football. Okay, Chrome's coming out, Topps Chrome with no team logos. Okay, what is Panini doing? They have team logos but no players. I don't understand what's going on. If you are a basketball or a football fan right now, good luck to you on collecting that stuff. This might be a dead year or two for those two sports. Maybe they'll make ESPN the Ocho cards. So until next time, like, share, tell a friend, subscribe if you haven't. Slowly moving up the ladder. Man, I've been on this grind now going on 6 years and having fun doing it. And thank y'all for the ones that have subscribed, and thanks to the ones that are yet to subscribe but watch me anyway. I appreciate you taking the time. And until next time, see ya.